What's up, guys? So getting ready to take the dually and go to the scrapyard, empty out all the stuff that I've cleaned out of the shop. It's a lot cleaner, which a lot of people have probably been like, dude, this guy does not know how to do anything. But it's clean-ish. We've got so much more stuff to do. Like I said yesterday, the RB20 is probably going to go into this S14 back there. We finished working on Omar's S13. But yeah, still got the SkidBillies car. Need an S15 hood. So if you know anybody with an S15 hood, let me know. Look at that. EQ's going in the trash. Well, scrap. So. But also, I've got to go and drop some packages off at the UPS store for some customers that bought some stuff over the weekend. Thanks again for y'all's support on that. And yeah. So here we are at the scrapyard, and about to unload all this stuff. Then go to the UPS store. 9320. See what this dually weighs empty. I can't believe what I see. RX-8 wheels that are hanging out of that box right there, as well as like all those right there back there in the back. Those are headlight and tail light carriers for the company I used to work for, North American Lining. Super cool to see those there. Never really liked working at that place, but still. Yeah, there's my Rider Togepi right there. My ride-or-die. And the mid-pond duck. I've had that thing for a hot minute now. I got one just like it from Tara and Lucas back, I think, spring break before last. See what old Megalodon weighs. 8580. 8600. Not bad. I gotta wait for her. She gave us the go-ahead. How to collect our bounty for a little bit of scrap metal. Maybe we can make some change. It's probably not gonna be a lot, but still. We'll try to go scrounge up some cars at some point, do some more videos on them and parting them out, and yeah, be right back. Well, the results are in. Let's see. $51.80. I mean, not bad for literally scrap metal. I mean, I'm a big believer in recycling, but at the same time, it's a lot of a hassle. Like, if I didn't work my second shift job, like, I would be like hard pressed to come out here like right after I get off work, because a lot of times like first shift gets off at 3:30 and they close at 3 here. So taking time off work, like, it used to like be really stressful to like, come out here and make 50 bucks or whatever. Like, I think the most I ever made is I put a Z32 with a I think either a GS300 or a GS400. I parted out and cut in half, and I made like 400 and some change, which that's acceptable, but that's something I don't do every time I come out here. So I mean, now that I work this new job, which helps with the channel, helps with the business, helps with all this, that, and the other, and makes things much easier to do. Like, being able to drop these packages off at our local like UPS distributor or warehouse, whatever you want to call it, is so much easier during the daytime, and it just makes things easier. But that's where we're heading now. So pulling into the UPS store. Well, kind of not really a store, but this badass El Camino. That thing. It's bad as fuck. So I was hoping this S13 would be here. It usually sits out that way. It's got a front mount on it and a little bit of stuff done to it, but it's still sweet. I can't remember. I think it's either a hatch or a coupe. anyway, I always try to come out here and try to see this guy and see if I can ever like get him to do a video on his car and like meet the dude, because there's not really a lot of 240s here. Like a majority of all the like 240s and drift cars around here are like in our like local group that I know pretty much everybody who's got a 240 or anything Japanese and rear-wheel drive. Man, I've been trying to get this guy to like link up with us for a hot minute. Still, anyway. So what I'm up to now is probably gonna go to the house, either grab some food on the way or grill something. I hadn't decided yet. But work on Omar's S13 and see what's going on with it. The injectors really didn't help, but we'll see what we can do. I don't know if maybe those were, you know, re-drilled side feeds that are in there. We'll see. They look new, but again, you can always get re-drilled like DW injectors. They're not the best. I'm a big either Injector Dynamics or OEM if I can. Like the R34 is going to get R35 injectors, just stock, just for a drop-in upgrade, because I'll be doing just a mild setup on it once it's here. Still waiting on it. Nate told me the other day we're just waiting for it to get on the ship, which, yeah, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That gives us more time to prep, get filmmaking, which again, filmmaking, shooting with a GoPro down the best we can. But other than that, it is what it is. There's a few more things I want to get for it. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to do like stages of the build or just do it all in like a week, because the car is coming automatic. I've got everything to do the manual swap, literally everything but the transmission's brand new. So I'm going to do a step-by-step guide, because there's a lot of videos on YouTube that are non-completed manual swaps, and I'll be working with getting a proper write-up for it if I can, because again, there's a lot of old like forums and stuff from like SAU and all these other places with write-ups, but they're not finished, and some of the images are dead, and I'll try to actually like get a proper video for that, as well as upgrades, maintenance stuff, because I am going to be repainting the roof on the G35, selling it once I might even do that before the R34 gets here, but I'll even do a video on that, because I think I might do a cool roof design. What I'll be doing is basically dailying the 34. A lot of people don't like seeing 25-year-old cars being daily, but everybody does it. People who say RBs are unreliable, and Japanese cars, I mean, the problem is with a lot of people who buy these old Japanese cars that they've always wanted is they don't take the time and they don't put the money in to do maintenance. The rule of thumb when you get an old car in general is if you buy it, you should at least have enough money to either buy another one, not literally, but enough to do the essential maintenance items that need to be done. Because like back in the day when I first started doing RB stuff, my first hiccup was I literally got the motor off the crate. I think I just took the old harness off, put a wire twisted harness on it, and just threw it in there, fluids, started it, had all kinds of issues. Like I remember I was so close to just saying to hell with it and going back to a KA, because I was stupid and just threw a motor in there with cracked dry rotted hoses and didn't care about maintenance. And my second RB20 I got actually went through fresh off the pallet and took it, tore it down, rebuilt it, re-ringed it, anything I could, everything. I mean, everything was not touched. Like, I spent a ton of money to get this thing right. ARP head studs, just do it right. And it was an amazing daily driver. Like, I loved it. It was fun to beat on. I mean, still a short snout crank, because, oh Lord, lady, this thing's like terrible to drive. And so I dailied that thing and beat on it, and everybody's like, oh, RBs are so unreliable, but I drove it everywhere. Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Mike Preza actually drove his S13 with an RB25 in it around the US. Like, I forgot, if I'm not mistaken, I need to go back and double check, but I think it was him who like drove it around the US with no major issues. So RBs aren't really unreliable, just like any other car. Just, you know, take care of them. And that's what I'm gonna do with the 34. Is everything I get's new radiator, all hoses are gonna be silicone. Just good maintenance items you need to do with any car. And I think that'd be like a really cool, fun video. I've got a lot of goodies I've bought for it, but I bought a ton of maintenance items, like everything I could get my hands on. So while I wait on the spark plugs for the SR car to dry out with brake clean in them, I'm gonna go ahead and make this, you know, transmission and engine together for Cameron's S14. Something I do on, you know, all my, I got one for 30As and 71 transmissions. Is just literally an old slip yoke from one of the drive shafts. Either like S13s, you can break them, or, you know, break them down. From the isolator, S14s, you can, S14Zs, you just, I've cut one off an old RB, you know, or a Z32 drive shaft, and, you know, made it to where you don't cut your hands on it. But it makes things a whole lot easier, especially when you go to put the transmission together, especially in the car and you're doing it by yourself. Makes things way easier. Because, I mean, especially when you're trying to make things together, like there. Ready to have a bolt thrown in it, lock down. Because all I had to do was literally just spin this until it locked in. Bada bing, bada boom. You know, easy. I get the right angle ratchet wrench because, you know, sometimes you need it. Get that. We got one more to go from here. One thing I did forget is to put the breather of the transmission back where it was supposed to be. Can't forget that, can't have that hanging down. And now it looks like we're almost ready to go ahead and throw this thing back in there. Hopefully today, or I'll make another video for tomorrow of me putting this back in here. So before, the reason why this motor's, you know, or his car's here is because we had a bunch of issues with it. You know, just a few on and off things that really kind of didn't work right. So what I did is, so we put some injectors in there. I don't remember the name of them. They're really not the greatest, but these are Arthur, or, you know, RB26 446Cs. He's got a Haltech Platinum Pro that you can change between high and low impedance. So he doesn't have to run a resistor pack with these. So we're going to just get him some decent injectors that we know the values on. They've been flow tested. They're good. Another thing is, the way this manifold was set up was really jank. And I mean, it's not the best, but used to have a water hose that like ran underneath this, and it was kinked, and, you know, it wouldn't give you proper and adequate like flow to the actual head itself. So that was a problem. So I put an A-in fitting on those. Really kind of cleaned it up a lot. because again, like, it's not the greatest, but it's still, you know, the threads were stripped out of this, so I went ahead and welded an extra plate on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and tap it once I figure out exactly where the bracket needs to be for this. Instead of just having a bracket and just making it work, we're gonna actually properly tap the holes to where it needs to go and make it not look so jank. And yeah, went ahead and welded shut the extra port right here that looked kind of gross. I really would have liked to have welded this shut and polished this, the coolant lines that is, but all in all, it's not a terrible setup, but it's not the best, but it's not the worst I've seen. So he had a big 3076 or 3071R on here, and swapped it out. It was a really jank drain set up on this before. Went and made him a new actual good drain for it, to where you didn't have this hose right there at the bend of the tubing itself. Made it look a lot nicer. I'll go ahead and put some heat wrap on this as well and get them looking real good and spiffy. And yeah, it's been here for a little bit, but I want to get this thing back to them in good shape and running better than ever, because I gotta have people happy with their stuff. So now we're back out here. We're gonna go ahead and put his spark plugs back in and get that sorted out. Figure out what's going on with it. Hopefully the coil packs aren't bad, but go ahead and check that, as well as I think I got some spares in there as well. This one right here doesn't look too healthy. It's also got oil in it, but maybe we can get them into some new coils, or you know, keep going through the list of what we can fix and can't fix, and go from there. So swapping these so throwing these spark plugs back in and seeing if it runs any better after we swap the injectors back out. And yeah. So one thing I do want to check is, you know, a lot of people have gone and upgraded to these coil packs here. I want to see how they fit with just the factory socks in them, because I've run these G35 and VQ coil packs on everything, and yeah, looks like honestly these right here work really well from what I can tell. Like, it, look at that. That right there might be the new upgrade for a lot of the cars I have here at the shop for SR related, because I didn't like how it like sat flat. This right here sits at an angle, so that right there might be the win if I go and change out to different coils, because I mean, honestly, they sit down really good if you have a coil cover. It sits, honestly, if you have a coil cover, they sit flush. Like, I mean, they sit like on it. So that right there might be the win for us. At least for, you know, the SkidBillies S13. We'll talk to the customer if he wants to go with a smart coil upgrade, which I recommend, because it gets you away from those old crusty coils. I mean, I've been running, you know, in the GTR, I've put, I don't even know how many miles on 350Z coils and Titan coils. Like, I mean, it makes no sense to spend all that money on, you know, VR38 coils, because here's what I ran into. I went down to every auto parts store that I could literally come across and said, hey, do y'all carry these coils in stock? You know, VR38. They're like, no, we don't. So the reason why I went with, you know, Titan coils is literally I went down there on a random day when I had a coil pack go out on my Titan, and literally they had like 3 in stock. I'm like, well, can you check all the other stores? And all the other stores literally have them in stock. So again, it makes no sense to put a VR38 coil pack on and run the risk of, if you, like I said prior in this video, if you're gonna be sitting there running, you know, dailying your Skyline, your RB swap vehicle, whatever you have, would you not want a coil that you can get everywhere? I mean, literally, I've never bought I think I bought one new coil since I've had, you know, and that was way before, you know, any of this really ever started. And I was like, well, damn, man, if I can get, you know, these coils here for cheap. So, I mean, I've been hoarding them up. I literally will go to a scrapyard. I will buy a motor or find somebody selling the coils and just get the coils. And And like I said, I mean, that's I think that might actually be out of like a G35 or something. Maybe a VK45 out of the FX45, but But again, if you're hunting for big power and you are starting to have blood or breakout because you have, you know, G35, 350Z, Titan coil packs, then yes, by all means go with, you know, the R34 or R35 coil pack. But I'm gonna be real, like most of the people who do this and put these coil packs in there for, you know, their 300 horsepower build do not need it. Again, let's save yourself some money. Just get the PRP stock kit with the bracket and all that, and just run the 350Z coils. Like I swear, you can probably go to a pick and part and just get you a set of the coils and call it a day. Like you don't have to spend a ton of money on these coils. Because prior to this, I did 350Z coils in my GTR 7-8 years ago. While everybody's like, you can't do that, like on a stock, you know, stock ECU. Like I didn't have to worry about it. I mean, it worked great. Like, I mean, fantastic. I'd never had a problem. And every car that comes here, I'd always recommend it. But a lot of people just throw money and hope it sticks. Again, going back to that maintenance thing, if you get, you know, a 30-year-old car and you have these dry boost couplers, like, and you know, you're like, oh, I don't know, the car's sputtering and breaking up, and you still run off MAFs. You're like, oh, it's getting spark blood. No, or you know, coil packs are like dying. It genuinely could be literally the silicone boots dry rotted. So always look into the more basic stuff before spending $300 some odd, because actually more than that, because if you buy the full PRP kit, it's like $800. I don't know, it's your money, do what you want. See if this S14 starts up. It runs. Starts up. So look who showed up.
Hi. I'm back.
Yeah, he finally showed up.
I was here yesterday.
Never showed up again. You never showed up, which is actually the video.
Because I was hungry for 3 hours while you sat here fucking doing whatever you were doing with that guy.
His name is Justin.
So I left because I was hungry. It's not my fault.
Yeah, it is. You never came back. You said you're coming back.
No, I didn't. I didn't even say anything. I just went home.
That's what the video says.
The video says nothing.
So
there's no proof.
Motor's almost all ready to go. We'll, you know, get the hood off and do a little jig.
Oh, well, that's...
Yeah. So let's take this hood off. So I might get to do a video on doing these tubs at some point, hopefully at the end of this year. Once this car gets, you know, running and driving better, and, you know, gets to enjoy it some.
But if you have this, why is this still here?
Magic.
It makes no fucking sense.
Well, he was trying to see how he liked it or not. Over here talking shit. Man didn't even drive his S13 over here talking mad smack.
I drive my car really good, thank you.
He's driving Grandma's car, which is kind of cool. Let's go look at Grandma's car.
Yeah, and it's faster. It's in the S13 by far.
A bucket of bad yogurt is faster than the S13. You know, mind, it's like hot as hell out here. Look at that. See, Grandma spec. Grandma spec.
Yeah.
It's a competition group car. What you competing in? Bingo?
every weekend.
What makes Meemaw's car so special? Oh, okay. It starts.
Okay.
So it goes to bingo and gets there really quickly. You never miss a bingo night?
Nope.
Huh. We'll give it a cut. Might as well be a daggone Hellcat. Meemaw spec. Alright, well I'm not mad about it.
It's a fucking bath.
Yeah. Look at that.
That's a brand new.
Wheels are whack. What is that? We got the flames on it.
I don't remember what that was. It was there a long time ago when I was a child.
Yeah, this man actually used to drive this car when he was like 4 years old. So,
I think my grandma bought it when I was like 12, 13.
well, it's held up great. I think we're going to cut to the video of you getting the motor out of the other Pontiac.
Hey, Peter.
Hey, what's going on?
Is something wrong?
No. Everything's cool right now. Might be some problems later, but
Yeah, that was sketchy.
Yeah.
It's not a fun time.
OSHA does not like us. Just look at that over there. It's like $1 million sitting there.
$1,000,000 yen.
Same but different. We got that thing. And that thing, which we'll do a video on painting the hood on and making it look not so ratchet. Then at some point this guy's video is going to come out of him painting his car for, you know, the 20th fucking time.
We'll get there one day. So,
You bet. This man comes to me talking about selling his, like all of his worldly possessions for a what now?
it's gonna build a Knight Rider replica car. 3rd gen Trans Am. Whole works.
I try to keep him away from doing stupid stuff, and that's,
I told you I shouldn't have sold my first Trans Am.
yeah,
Could have used that car. It
no.
only had a little rust in the floor pan.
So he's about to dip out. I'm about to get ready for work. Maybe I might get off work and put the engine in. If not, I'll probably just leave that for tomorrow's video. And again, thank you guys for watching. See y'all guys later.